Jakai finds his mom's dead body in the living room, laying on a couch covered in her own blood. He rushes to find help. He then sees the elderly man, which he asks for help. The man responded by saying, "I was expecting you." "What you mean you was expecting me? How do you know who I am?" Jakai told the man. "I'm sorry for your loss." The man replies, "You must be devastated, and your brother is crying up a storm. Come inside and rest." The man says, "Who are you?" Jakai replies. The man then gets up out of his chair and walks over to Jakai, then tells him, "Your father killed your mother." The wind blows harder, Jakai's chest tightens, and he loses strength of his body. He drops his baby brother, but the old man catches him before he hits the ground. Jakai stands there shocked after receiving the news. There was no tears in his eyes, but the old man did notice that his eyes was glowing red. Jakai unknowingly awakened his Sharingan before passing out. Thank God it was just a dream, Jakai thought to himself after waking up. He notices that he's not in his bed, so he gets up to find out where he's at. He prays that it was all just a dream, but then he soon finds out that this was all reality. This was the day all the hate for his dad started to build up. 2 years has gone by ever since that day. The old man claims to be a longtime member of the clan and knows everyone. He's seen Jakai's father the night of the killing. He reveals himself to be George. George was in his late 50s. He has always lived alone ever since his wife died 20 years ago. Ever since that day, Jakai and his younger brother Savion moved in with George. George raised them and installed in Jakai's head that his father is still out there and must be killed by his hand and his hand only in order for his mother's soul to finally rest in peace. Jakai is now 8 and he started his time at the academy. At first, Jakai was quiet and he stayed to himself. He focused on getting stronger and he wanted nothing to distract him. After some time, he started to become acquainted with some of the kids, mainly a boy named Ben. Ben seemed as the odd kid, but he fitted in everywhere. He has enough clout to hang out with the kids most popular, and he was geeked enough to hang out with the kids at the bottom of the class. Ben was the first true friend Jakai opened up and told a story to. Ben also had a rough upbringing, revealing to Jakai that he was born with a messed up nerve in his left arm, so it is hard for him to use it, but he found ways to work around this problem. This was the only big thing Ben told to Jakai. A year passes and Jakai is becoming well known with the students. Most of his clout comes from being in Uchiha, but that's where most of his hate comes from too. There was this boy named Ro, who was in Hyuga. Ro disliked Jakai because he was a member of the Uchiha clan. He explained that he has his reasonings, but he don't want to say it. Ro has his own friend group that he brainwashed to dislike Jakai. People of this group are Sante, Mage, Moore, and Tay. Jakai has his own friend group who were Ben, Ab, Peter, and Mo. For the next following 2 years of the academy, the class split between these two groups that started growing in size. Entering his final year at the academy, his younger brother was now starting his first year at the academy. At the end of the year, there was one final test that needed to be done to add to what needs to be looked at to see who will graduate, which were 1v1 battles.